Whenever the history of America is discussed, most books and schools begin the story in 1492, when Christopher Columbus set sail from Europe, crossed the Atlantic, and stepped foot on what we now call the New World. But here's the real question. Was America truly empty at that time? Did Columbus really discover a new land? Or did he arrive at a place that was already home to a thriving civilization that had existed for thousands of years? When we start to chase that question, we end up in a place you've probably never even heard of, Cahokia, a forgotten city that once stood on the banks of the Mississippi River in what is now the state of Illinois. And around 1,000 years ago, this was not just a city. It was the largest and most mysterious civilization in all of North America. Historians believe that Cahokia rose around 1050 AD, and in just a few decades, it became so massive and advanced that cities like London and Paris, yes, those London and Paris, looked tiny in comparison. At a time when Europe was busy building castles and cathedrals, a different kind of society was blooming on American soil, one that didn't use stone or metal, but still managed to build giant earthen pyramids, develop religious systems, master astronomy, and construct a complex social order. This city was built by a culture known as the Mississippians, often called the mound builders, because they raised enormous earthen mounds that towered over the flatlands. Some of these mounds were over 100 feet tall. The largest one? It's still standing today. Known as Monk's Mound, it covers over 14 acres, and it's believed that this was where the king or the high priest lived. Cahokia had around 120 mounds, each with its own purpose. Some were used for burials, others for religious rituals, and many were aligned with astronomical events. And get this, they even built a solar observatory out of wooden poles called Woodhenge. Yes, like Stonehenge, but in wood. These posts were placed in precise alignment with the rising sun, helping them mark the seasons of the year. These people farmed maize, beans, and squash. Their agricultural knowledge was so advanced that they turned the region into a vast trading network stretching from the Great Lakes to the Gulf Coast. Society was highly organized, with rulers, priests, warriors, artisans, traders, and farmers, each with clear roles. Homes were made from wood and clay, and each family lived in a space surrounded by open fields and farmland. But then comes the mystery. What happened to this powerful city? Where did everyone go? There are no signs of war, no records of an invasion. Historians suggest multiple possible reasons: climate change, prolonged droughts, floods, deforestation, overpopulation, even disease due to poor sanitation and overcrowding. Some believe shifts in religious or political systems might have caused unrest. Whatever the cause, by 1300 AD, people began abandoning the city. And by 1400, Cahokia was almost completely deserted. Eventually, the mounds were swallowed by time, forgotten, buried in earth, and erased from most history books. Today, the site is called the Cahokia Mounds State Historic Site, and it's even listed as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. And yet, shockingly, over 90% of Americans have never even heard of it. It's not taught in schools. It's not in the mainstream history lessons. Why? Because it disrupts the story that says America was an empty land discovered and built by Europeans. But the truth is, America was never empty. It was already home to people who lived, thought, built, worshipped, and thrived. Cahokia is living proof of that. A fully planned city with science, religion, governance, but no stone temples, no written books. And maybe that's why modern history never gave it a chapter. But if you ever visit Cahokia today, you'll see the mounds. Massive, silent, sacred. And if you truly listen, each mound has a story to tell, a voice from a forgotten time. And it's time we start listening. Because the real story of America doesn't begin with Columbus. It begins with the people whose stories were never written, but still matter. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to like it, share it, and comment below with what forgotten history you want us to uncover next. And hey, subscribe to the channel, because we're here to tell the history that was never told, but deserves to be known.